The Indonesian island of Java is home to large plantations and gorgeous national parks. Large pockets of savanna have existed here for millions of years, supporting the lives of grass-eating animals like the iconic banteng, a wild species of cattle native to this island. But a few decades ago, some foreign plants started invading this area. These alien weeds have spread like wildfire and are now taking over the landscape, causing great economic losses to plantations and devastating the savanna that the banteng needs for survival. Invasive alien species are a huge international problem that costs the global economy more than $1.4 trillion per year.
My name is Gracia Paramita and I'm on a journey in East Java to find out more about this problem and meet the people who are trying to control these alien plants.
The expedition begins in Baluran, a national park that was primarily set up to protect 10,000 hectares of savanna ecosystem and its biodiversity, such as the endangered banteng. But the alien invasive tree, Acacia nilotica, has already taken over most of the savanna, destroying it and pushing the banteng to the brink of extinction in the park. Park authorities are desperately trying to deal with this huge problem.
Jadi kita sedang memberantas Acacia nilotica. Jadi Acacia nilotica ini tumbuhan invasif di Taman Nasional Baluran. Ya, dia mengganggu dan merusak savana. Jadi kita harus berantas.
Nanang Wahono is a ranger in Baluran National Park, and he leads this team of alien plant hunters.
Kenapa dia merusak savana?
Ya, karena dia tumbuh di savana, kemudian karena dia pohon, rumput tidak bisa hidup di bawahnya. Sehingga kita harus matikan Acacia ini. Setelah terbuka nanti kita tanami rumput.
Supaya hewan-hewan yang lain pada bisa datang ya.
Betul.
Kayak tadi saya lihat ada rusa, terus ada hewan-hewan yang lain.
Invasive alien plants are non-native species intentionally or accidentally introduced by people to a new habitat. There, they rapidly proliferate due to the lack of natural plant competitors and enemies such as insects and diseases, and thus suffocate native vegetation. Acacias first arrived in Indonesia's Bogor Botanical Garden in the 1800s. Dutch scientists brought them here from India with the intention of creating plantations to produce gum arabic.
They bring all the species from overseas to be planted in our area, in Indonesian territory. This acacia need the hot climate, so it is a very suitable habitat for them.
In the 1960s, acacias were planted in Baluran National Park to serve as a fire break, protecting the valuable teakwood plantations that surrounded the fire-prone park.
This kind of species is what is a fire resistant. They think about putting this plant as a fire breaks, but they don't know that this plant has a characteristic which is invasive. The growth of acacia was unbearable.
Acacias reproduced rapidly and turned out to be deadly to the savanna's grass. In just a few years, the alien acacias expanded from a small area planted along the western boundary of the park to invade large zones inside the protected area, destroying more than half of the savanna. With much of the grass gone, grazers like the banteng lost their main source of food and the ecosystem they needed for survival. The population of the endangered banteng dropped so drastically that the park has started an experimental breeding program.
Sekarang berapa, Bu, kira-kira jumlah banteng yang ada di sini?
Dari inventarisasi yang terakhir ada 26 ekor.
Dari yang awalnya berapa?
Kalau
Kira-kira?
sebelumnya ya sampai ada 100-an lebih, tetapi
Wow.
terakhir ini sekitar itu sehingga cukup mengkhawatirkan sebagai taman nasional yang ikonnya banteng.
The herds of bantengs have been one of the main attractions for tourists visiting this park. With the animals disappearing, tourists may stop coming, and the park will lose an important source of income. Nanang and the team of alien plant hunters are still hard at work in the acacia-infested area.
Nah, setelah dipotongin, mau ngapain lagi nih?
Nah, setelah
Kok
kita
ada yang
potong,
ngecat-ngecat gitu?
itu Bapak itu lagi ngoles. Jadi tunggak ini harus kita oles dengan herbisida supaya
Iya.
tidak tumbuh lagi. Gitu.
Oh. Oke, Mas, coba praktekin nih, Mas. Ajarin gimana caranya.
Pokoknya kita harus pastikan semuanya kena supaya betul-betul mati.
Mereka akan tumbuh lagi nggak?
Seharusnya tidak. Nah, tapi kalau nanti ada yang terlewat tidak teroles, di situ nanti dia akan tumbuh lagi.
Oh, gitu ya.
Nanang estimates it takes 1 full day for a team of 100 workers to clear 1 hectare of acacia. At this rate, it would take a team this size decades to clear the park of acacias, and it would have an exorbitant cost.
So this is Nanang and his team's way to cut off the invasive alien species. But there are other methodology, and we will meet the scientists who are very dedicated on these issues. Halo semuanya. Sehat-sehat, segar?
Iya. Dari mana, Bu?
Ya, jalan-jalan keliling Taman Nasional, keren banget.
Kunjungi.
Ini rumputnya kok bagus banget ini, hijau-hijau. Lagi ngapain ini, Pak?
Iya, ini lagi panen rumput yang kami tanam bulan Januari kemarin.
Wow.
Researcher Ragil Irianto of the Center for Forest Conservation and Rehabilitation, Research and Development has come up with a cheaper method that does not require cutting the trees first.
Dengan sistem stem brushing, tanaman Acacia yang masih hidup, kita oles pada permukaan pangkal batangnya sepanjang 30 cm, kita oles mengeliling dengan herbisida. Nanti daun tanaman itu akan menggugurkan, gugur daun, kemudian tanaman mati dan kulit batang akan mati juga.
Lapuk ya.
Lapuk.
It is possible then for the grass to grow back even with the dead acacias left standing. As part of his research, Ragil has fenced off a plot of land that has been cleared of acacias, and now he and his team are measuring the amount of grass that has grown back. Max Ziran of the United Nations Environment Programme collaborates with Ragil Irianto's team as part of the international project Removing Barriers to Invasive Species Management in Production and Protection Forest in Southeast Asia.
Under this program, we are trying to help countries to deal and manage the danger of invasive species.
This regional project, financially supported by the Global Environment Facility, brings together a coalition of international partners, including the UN Environment Programme, CAB International, and the government agencies of Indonesia, Cambodia, Vietnam, and the Philippines.
Once an invasive species is in an area, in a forest like here in Baluran, or in an agriculture area, you can never get rid of it anymore, but you can suppress it. And the costs are enormous, estimated to be more than $1.4 trillion a year. And the cost of the control, the prevention, using all kinds of pest management techniques, and the economic impacts of invasive species is huge. It's comparable to climate change. Yet how much do we invest? Just a few million globally. So my motivation is very much to bring people who work already in natural resource and conservation to really open their eyes for what is happening.
The project also supports countries to introduce other methods of invasive species control that could be cheaper in the long run and more effective. This includes natural control methods, also called biocontrol, which use natural enemies of the alien invasive plants. In the case of Acacia nilotica, these enemies are the chiasmia moth larvae, which only eat the leaves of the invasive acacia trees and cannot survive on other plants in Baluran, including crops. This has proven to be safe for the environment. The amount of grass in Ragil's research site turns out to be quite a lot. This amount could feed a healthy banteng population.
Semoga rumput-rumput yang ada di sini bisa mendatangkan banyak satwa-satwa di Taman Nasional.
Ya, dengan mudah-mudahan. Ya.
Gracia is now going to Labuan Merak, a village on the other side of Baluran National Park. Acacias are invading this area too, destroying the grass that people need to feed their cattle and having a terrible effect on the local economy. Villagers are trying to make up for their losses by collecting and selling the acacia seeds.
Halo Ibu.
Ya,
Baik Bu, sehat?
baik, sehat.
Ini lagi ngapain Bu?
Lagi ambil biji Arabica. Kalau kata orang sini, Arabica.
Bu, dulu Ibu pernah dengar nggak Bu, sebelum banyak akasia ini kira-kira jadinya apa Bu?
Sebelum banyak akasia, di sini banyak tumbuhan rumput.
Terus seberapa penting nih Bu buat penghasilan Ibu atau buat keluarga?
Ya,
Kira
juga penting buat tambah-tambah belanja.
They pack their harvest and take it to the village's seed buyer, who extracts the seeds from the pods. The acacia seeds will be used by powdered coffee manufacturers as part of their coffee mix.
Sekitar 90-an itu masih pohon akasia itu sangat-sangat kecil, Pak. Perkembangannya memang sangat cepat dan pesat. Jadi seandainya dipotong, kalau cuma sekedar dipotong, tumbuhnya itu akan lebih banyak. Sukar untuk diantisipasi untuk mematikan pohon akasia tersebut.
While the villagers make extra income from the acacia seeds, the alien plants have a very negative impact on their more lucrative cattle raising.
Arabica itu sangat merugikan, baik dari masyarakat maupun ke Taman Nasional Baluran sendiri, karena Arabica akasia tersebut, Pak, ya, kalau di bawahnya, kalau sudah besar pohonnya, yang jelas rumput tidak akan tumbuh, juga seperti hewan-hewan itu akan kekurangan makan, juga sapi kita ya termasuk juga kekurangan makan. Rumput itu akan mati di bawah pohon akasia tersebut. Juga sukar untuk memantau sapi-sapi kita yang makan rumput di situ.
As the grass near the village dwindles, the cattle help spread the alien invasion by eating the acacia seeds and then dispersing them in their manure to pastures further away, worsening the situation.
Kalau dulu memang banyak banteng-banteng yang berkeliaran, sampai sekarang banyak yang sekarang katakanlah hampir punah.
The problems posed by alien invasive plants in Baluran are huge, but ecosystem restoration efforts are having positive results. This large area used to be covered by acacias, but after much work, the savanna has been restored, and the bantengs are starting to come back.
Wow, amazing! I just saw one of the 26 remaining bantengs.
Ya, sangat mengejutkan sekali. Sangat jarang orang yang bisa lihat banteng di Baluran sekarang ini. Jadi seperti ini kita bisa lihat siang hari, kita sangat beruntung sekali.
The invasive alien plants not only affect the banteng and its ecosystems, it has also a negative impact on our economy. I'm now going to Bande Alit, where alien plants are destroying large parts of a coffee plantation. Let's go!
Bande Alit is home to large rubber and coffee plantations. This area may look more like a jungle, but it is actually a coffee plantation that has been completely infested with several invasive alien plants. National Park Monitoring and Control Officer Budi Setio Prabowo is an expert on alien invasive plants in this area and is giving Gracia a tour.
Tanaman invasifnya itu Lantana camara, Chromolen, terus Mekadia. Dan ditambah ini yang berbunga kuning ini, kalau orang di sini nyebutnya paitan.
They take a walk and find a team of alien hunters, machete in hand, busy cutting down the invasive plants. Team leader Umar Fautzi explains to them how the plantation has fallen prey to the alien invasive weeds.
Awal tanam kopi itu kurang lebihnya antara tahun 70-an. Pertama awalnya ya, tertanam kopi, itu kopinya bagus ini. Setelah tumbuh tanaman pengganggu jenis mekania, itu yang jenis tanaman yang mengganggu terhadap tanaman kopi, itu yang bisa mematikan terhadap tanaman. Kalau kita dibiarkan tanaman mekania itu menjalar, itu nanti tumbuhan kita yang kita kelola itu akan mati, sehingga akan terjadi suatu kebangkrutan terhadap perusahaan.
This 300-hectare plantation used to produce 300 tons of coffee per year. Over the past 11 years, the harmful invasive plants have taken over large areas, reducing the productive land to only 100 hectares. Yearly harvest now has plummeted to 50 tons, only 16% of the original yield. It is impossible for the team to keep up with the spread of the alien weeds by simply cutting them down, so they have to spray the area with costly herbicides twice a year.
Ya kalau masa keselnya memang kesel istilahnya karena apa? Karena kita yang merawat tanaman itu kita kan supaya mendapatkan hasil. Kalau tanaman kita diganggu terus sama tanaman-tanaman itu pengganggu itu kan kita akan merasakan kerugian. Nah kalau kita dibiarkan istilahnya menghadapi tanaman yang mengganggu itu dibiarkan, nah kita akan kebangkrut nanti kebun nanti.
The plantation spends thousands of dollars a year to deal with this problem and has already lost large areas of the plantation to the invasive plants. Just like the plantation of Banda Alit, people in agricultural areas all over Indonesia and throughout the world are fighting a losing battle against alien invasive plants, facing huge economic losses.
Through my journey in East Java, I have discovered the great damage that invasive alien plants are causing in our national parks and the big economic losses they produce in plantations. I have also met many committed people with great ideas doing their best to find solutions. But this is a huge problem that requires everybody's attention and a serious investment in resources if we want to sustain local economies and truly protect our natural heritage.